شماره چنده با شمارهش چنده؟
شماره چی؟ من این
سبب
چهار بخش 4 سبب نظم کتاب سبب نظم کتاب
سبب بخش 4 داره
سبب نظم کتاب. The cause of composing the work. Of course, nazm means composing verse. It means ordering. Like, when someone has the title Nizam al-Mulk, he's the guy who brings order, he's the highest minister. So now he's telling us, Chun Eshaurat Rasi Penhani as Saral Pad de Sop de Mani, when the indication, meaning an order, something's pointed out to you that you have to do, arrived secretly from the Saral Pad, the very fancy tent, like a sultan's tent, and it's a de Soleimani, magnificent like the King Solomon. Anything that Soleimani evokes his army of genie and magical stuff. Bad gereften chomor bebal goshani.
No, Pad gereften.
I took wing, I flew.
Chomor bebal goshani, you know.
Can I in the middle of this, zal ik even een klein kaasdingetjes maken? Of,
Ik ben oké. We zitten allemaal op regime, we zitten allemaal...
Regime, oké. We
moeten allemaal afvallen, dus...
Ik weet dat John altijd heel goed is het aanbieden van dit soort dingen.
Let's see, tall,
Die zal ik niet zeggen.
daddy, sauvé, small joy, tall, dad, daddy, sauvé, small joy. Okay, think now of the meter here. Pad, F10 is the first foot.
Yes.
Short, long, long. Then we have Cho. Why doesn't he write Chun? Why do we get the two things? Because he wants the short. Chun is the long. This is pronounced Cho, not Chun. The difference between long by nature. So this is short by nature.
Yep.
So Cho more, you get a ball, gives us our second foot. Short, long, short, long. Cho more, get ball as our fair as a short here at the more. Then we have a compound word. Ball, go short. Wait a minute. Pad, get, and Cho more, get ball. No, ball is part of the second foot.
Yeah.
And we have a two-syllable final.
Yeah.
Go shy. It's a diphthong. I. Go shy. Like Jewy.
So the go is then normally go is short.
Right. So we have short, long.
Short, long.
We have three possibilities: short, short,
Yeah.
long, short, long, or long, long.
Yeah.
And that gives us, and then we get tall. Konan bad. That I do something on. Bad is long. If dad is with an ezafe, tall, konan bad. If dad is with an ezafe, it becomes short. We want a short.
John, maybe we are tiring Shahab with all our meter and things here now.
No, it's okay.
That's good for him also to
Okay.
get used to these.
Yeah, I see that. But
I listen, but I can explain later what.
no, I mean it's just that
No, listen.
I'm afraid that because after all I will read it again and I will how to say this.
Yeah, you can try to figure out the meter.
Ja, I will how to say this. What's the best English? Ik ga mezelf opnieuw bekwamen.
I'm going to get involved again.
I'll get next time.
Did you have a question or something?
No, we just want to explain a little bit maybe before we start because it's about داره مقایسه میکنه فردوسی رو اینجا در واقع با نظامی هم. در واقع خود این قسمتی که داریم میخونیم شیوه، چون هر دوشون، چون نظامی 150 سال بعد از فردوسی بوده دیگه. بعد این دوتا شاعر میگن مثلا درباره نظامی اینجوری میگن که نظامی آخرین شاعریه که زمینی بود در واقع بعد از فردوسی. چون فردوسی اینجوری بود، یعنی رویایی نبود، واقعا زمینی بودن. این اشاره که میکنه اینجا، چون اینجا توی قسمتش میرسیم به اون بخشش، مثلا یه تیکه هست اینجا میگه که همین یه بیتی که بخونیم میفهمیم که منظورش فردوسیه. در واقع اینجا میگه که دستتاش هست، میگه چابک اندیشه، میگه این چابک اندیشه که میگه منظورش فردوسی هست.
چابک اندیشه.
آره این پایین میاد یه جایی هست میگه چابک اندیشه کجاست؟
Eerst op de tweede.
تو همین بخش هست اون تا پایین میاد جاست. اینجاست. چابک، این 1 2 3 4 5 6 پایین وسطاشه. چابک اندیشه رسیده نخست، همه را نظم داده بود درست. این فردوسی رو میگه. چابک
skillful or very adept, agile, moving around easily.
این خیلی جالبه.
In the case of poetry, chabuk in poetry, skillful.
چون این قسمت، این بخشی که حالا چجوری خونده میشه مهم هست، نه اینکه نیست، ولی فکر میکنم بد نباشه یه اشاره بکنیم به این که از نظر معنی مفهوم این داستان بخش چی هست، چی میخواد بگه. چون در واقع نظامی، من راجبش یه مقداری خوندم، میگفت که خب داشت میگفت که نظامی در واقع کسی بوده که خیلی درباره شعر و نوشتن آزمایش زیاد کرده، یعنی سعی کرده همه کاری بکنه، با توجه به اینکه خیلی هم محدود بوده شرایطش، با توجه به اینکه میگه فردوسی همه کارا رو کرده، میدونی، ولی با این همه کوشش خودش رو میگه کرده که اونم یه جایی داشته باشه توی این حالا شیوه نوشتاری یا هر چی میخواد. چون من با جانم که بارا صحبت میکردیم متوجه شدم که اینجور که میگه خود جانم این باور رو داره که فردوسی، یعنی در واقع نظامی، یه بار صحبت میکرد که در رابطه با نظامی مثلا یک سری از این پژوهشگرای ایتالیایی بر این باورن که مثلا نظامی خیلی بهتر هم هستن، ولی خب در واقع نمیشه مقایسه کرد، به خاطر اینکه اولا که اینا هر دوشون یک جور در واقع هر دوشون شاعرین دربار نبودن مثل بقیه شاعران دربار که برن اونجا، حالا میدونید در
غزنویان،
آره غزنویان دیگه این تیپی نبودن این دوتا، در واقع یه دوتا شاعری بودن که یه باورهای خودشونه. من معتقدم خیلی آرتیست، خیلی هنرمند بودن در واقع، به خاطر اینکه تونستن تو این مدت محدودی که داشتن دست به کارهای زیادی دادن. الان همین نمونه‌ای که الان خوندیم که جان اشاره کرد بخونیم در رابطه با سخن، یه بخشی از این تلاشیه که در واقع نظامی کرده. این تیکه‌ای هم که الان داریم می‌خونیم یه بخش دیگه ای از کوشش و تلاش نظامی باید باشه، چون اینجا هم باز این نوآوریایی کرده، یعنی میشه گفت خیلی نوآور بوده نظامی، در این حال که خیلی پرتلاش بوده و خیلی هم اشعار زیادی هم داره دیگه، عربی هم کار کرده، ترکی هم کار کرده، ولی خب بیشترین بخشایی که خوندیم منظومه هایی که داره در رابطه با عشق و عاشقی هم هست و اینها. حتی یه اشاره هم میکرد در رابطه با اینکه خب میگن نظامی 3 زن داشته، 3 هم پیش از اینکه خودش بمیره میمیرن این 3 همسرش در واقع. همسر سومش یه پسر داشته به نام محمد که ترک هم بوده همسر سومش. توی این منظومه هایی که میگن نظامی به انجام رسونده 3 بار هم به پسرش اشاره میکنه، تو همین منظومه قبلی هم به پسرش باش اشاره کرده. مثلا اولین اشاره‌ای که میگه کرده در رابطه با این داستان لیلی و مجنون هست، میگن که اون یه منوچهر پادشاهی به نام منوچهر مال شروانشاه بوده، در شروانیان، بهش پیشنهاد میده که در رابطه با لیلی و مجنون بنویسه، به نظم در بیاره لیلی و مجنون رو در واقع. خود نظامی گفته بوده که من اصلا دوست نداشتم این کار بکنم، به خاطر اینکه اصلا اون در واقع اون لوکیشن، اون جایی که حالا لیلی و مجنون، خب میدونی یه یوسف و زلیخا، لیلی و مجنون، اینا داستان‌های سامی هست در واقع، داستان‌های ایرانی نیستن. ولی مثلا داستان‌های دیگه که فردوسی نظامی پرداخته بهشون همه داستان‌های ایرانی هستن، مثل همین شیرین و فرهاد، خسرو و شیرین، یا مثلا بهرام و گلندام، کلا عشاق تاریخ حالا کیا ایرانیاش رو بهشون پرداخته. در رابطه با لیلی و مجنون چیزی که خود نظامی گفته بوده، مخالفتش با اینکه بخواد این کار رو انجام بده و به پسرش میگفت، این بود که میگفت که این المانایی که در واقع توی این داستان لیلی و مجنون هستن، مثلا یه صحرای برهوتی هست اونجا، المان خاصی نداشت که باشون کار کنه، ولی بعد از اینکه این کار رو میکنه خودش هم خیلی خوشحال میشه که این کار رو کرده، چون کاملا متفاوته با اون کارهای دیگهش، مثل همین شیرین و فرهاد یا خسرو و شیرین که بهشون میپرد، یا همین داستان 7 پیکر که بهرام شاه هست و اون 7 همسری که توی اون بهشون میپردازید که ما با جانم خوندیم یه بخشایش رو. کلا حتی میگن که لیلی و مجنون خیلی هم طرفدار پیدا کرد بعد از اینکه سروده میشه توسط نظامی، یعنی خیلی خوششون اومده، ولی حتی بیشتر از حتی 7 پیکر حتی میگفتن. ولی به هر حال اینا اختلاف سلیقه‌ای هم هست که وجود داره. نمیدونم، احساس کردم شاید بد نباشه آدم پیش از اینکه یه مرتبه شروع کنه به این بخش، با توجه به اینکه شاید تو هم نخونده باشی راجبش چیزی، گفتم شاید بهتر باشه آدم یه سری اطلاعات اینجوری اول بده، بعد مثلا میتونه آدم بره رو خود شعر و اون میتر و اون چیزایی که هست. به خاطر این بود که من
He's going to mention that he receives the order to write something, and then he says, well, what am I going to write? I want to do something extraordinary.
Okay.
And then he says about himself, open up and do something more unusual. And it refers in a way as if he thinks that the Majnun story was not of the same level of importance.
Mm-hmm.
So widen out your scope, but we'll see that if we read the coming lines here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in a sense what the title tells us, what was the sabab, the cause, and what did he think he was going to do. So here we have a poet telling us what I had in mind and how I see this subject as appropriate, and so shall we read some and we'll see how this is good in what you said, because that's what fits with what's good.
درسته. الان میتونیم بکنیم، اگه میخوایم میتونیم شروع کنیم بخوندن. از اول بخونیم یا از همون جایی که خوندیم ادامه داریم؟
So you could go from در اشارت چنان نمود برید. The barid is the messenger. Go to اشارت from the ruler.
چاپار، پیک چاپار. در اشارت چنان نمود برید که هلالی برآورد از شب عید.
So I think there's a mistake here in the bad or rad, and it has to be bad or rad. که هلالی برآورد از شب عید. On the شب عید, you're looking for the arrival of the moon, which is only going to be a sliver, you can hardly see it. That's the Hilali, that's the crescent moon, which rises, not arose, but arises on the Shab Eid. So, in other words, the messenger is saying that something exceptional should be the subject. Let's read a little further to see how it hangs together. آنچنان که از
حجاب به تاریکی کس نبیند.
I'm an hour, we can walk after if you
Okay.
want, okay?
آنچنان که از حجاب تاریکی کس نبیند در او ز باریکی.
So he's still talking about the Helali, that
فارسیش میشه ماهواره.
so if we go back to that Esharat Shonon Namud, he specified that the Helali, that it should rise up on the night of Eid on Shonan in such a way that from the hijab of Tariki, from behind the veil of darkness, Kas nabinad dar'u zabariki,
So many they don't see it because it's so thin.
so thin,
That's right.
ta, konad, sayd, and now it gets a little more usual there, if you want to read.
تا کند سیر سحر سازی تو جاودان را خیال بازی تو.
Okay, so this is the subject here is khiyal baziyato. You're playing with your imagination. Ta, so that konad sede, so that it hunts and captures seher saziyato, your ability to perform magic. Seher. It's not sahad, which is the dawn, but seher. Seher saziyato. And to do this, Javedan Ra, Ta Konad Said. This is a mistake, it should be Jadu on, magicians. So that your Khiyal Bazi should have as its prey these magicians.
How did you suss out that it's Jaduan?
Because we're talking about magic and then Jadu and Jaduan. And it doesn't work, I mean, otherwise it would mean Javedan, the eternal ones. And I'm getting used to the mistakes that they're making.
I know, it's horrendous. I wonder if it's still the case. Now they have spelling control. Or
I
maybe.
don't know.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Carry on.
So this is a little complicated. But up to there, you have a sort of complete thought that goes back to Dar Eshorat Shonon Amud Barid. Okay, Helali bar all rad as Shabeid. And the previous was Namude Barid. On Shonan Kaz. So on Shonan is how describing what this Helali should be like. Should be such that no one can even, it's so delicate that no one even notices it. It comes out from the hijab tariki, kas nabinad dar'u za bariki, ta konad, so that your khiyal baziyato, ta konad sayd sehr saziyato, makes the prey, the victim of your magic, the magicians. Jaduan, Ra, is the object. Then he starts a new image. Pel Peli, Chandera, Baratesh, Please. So you put, as a magic spell, you put some pepper on the flames. It's supposed to make the person you love want to love you back. Some kind of spell you cast. So, but it's now, he's being told this as if the Barid is giving him instructions about what kind of task he has in front of him. Exceptional type poetry. Pel Peli Chan de Ra Bar Al Tesheriz Qalqale Dar Fekan Be Al Teshetiz. So the final foot is 3. All teshetes. The A is the last long of the second foot.
Yeah.
So you get pelpeli parallel to galgali.
قلقلک البته فکر کنم چون از قلقلک میاد قلقلک کردن.
This is the sound of the burning pepper that he puts into the flame. It makes the crackling sound of the seeds. And I mean, literally, it's telling him, throw the first sprinkle the pelpel, and then throw in the galgali into the hot fire.
And galgali is cracking? Like cracking sound. So
Yes, certain noises.
حالا فارسی الان میگیم چزوبیلیس.
Chisulis.
And then he goes on describing the effects it's supposed to have. Maybe you would like to read there?
مومی افسرده را در این گرمی باید باشه چون گرمی هم آره نرم گردان ز بحر دل نرمی.
Okay, Zabahr del Narmi is as giving a reason, make it, well, let's begin at the beginning. Mumi, a cold wax. And it's the accusative here with the ra. That in Gadni, we've been talking about a fire, in this heat, Narm Gardon, make this moon Narm Gardon, transform it into softness. Zabah del Nari, from having yourself a portion of tender heartedness. So he's playing with the Nar. So moon, in other words, take a subject matter which on one level is kind of cool or afsordeh, it's stiff, it's cold, and heat it up. You know, find a way to do this as a poet, and make it soft because of your own, or because of soft-heartedness, out of tenderness. And then we go on, Mahd Birun.
مهد بیرون جهان از این ره تنگ پای کوبی بس است بر خر لنگ.
There's an interesting line. First of all, Jahan is not the world. It's the verb jehistan, but in the causative. Make it jump. Making it jump. Mahd birun. The mahd is a flat spread surface, or a couch or something. But he's basically saying, get out of the box that you're usually in. You know, make it go out.
مهد معنی گهواره هم هست در واقع.
Yeah, a cradle. So, make it jump out of the mahd, as in rahetang.
Narrow road.
Or make your mahd out of, the narrow. This is referring to the Lady and Majnun. He sees it as a rather restricted, narrow subject to deal with. This guy loves the girl. I got to go for 200 pages now. And then she doesn't, or it's a problem. They can't get together. Got to sustain this. But it's not like with Bahram Gur, we're going to have the 7 Pekat, all these stories within stories and other things. This is generally considered his masterpiece out of the 5 by critics. So then we get Mahd Birun Jahan, Azim Rahetang, Pa Yakubi. This is, you're on a khar land. That's what you've been on as a poet until now. Do something. Okay. And how do you do this? By your kicking. So you're doing your Pa Yakubi, Basas. You've done enough kicking the mule, trying to get it to go when it's a lame mule. Get onto something that's going to be
Get a horse.
launching yourself in a big way, yeah. And then he goes, at sei da, or de, za quelque nom fegoshai. So an atse is a sneeze. This is an unusual image. A sneeze give. It's like make a sneeze, or sneeze from your pen. Quelque. The nafe, your quelque nafe goshai, which releases nafe, this perfume. So it's like, oh, and this is all gonna, instead of infecting everybody, it's gonna be perfume because it comes from your pen. And ta shavan ba de sub radiye sai. When you spread radiye is another kind of perfume, and you rub it to make it release its smell. So that's the word sai. Radiye sai. And ta shavan ba de sub radiye sai.
یه نکته که اینجا اولش شورای اول بیت اول خوندیم، من این سری نوت اینجا برداشتم، بذار اینا رو اشاره کنم. اون قسمت اولش که در رابطه با سرا پرده سلیمانی میگه، اینجا یه نوت من خوندم که نوشته منظور همون کرپ ارسلان هست.
Yeah, that's his name.
آره اون نام
He's
اون
a little lion.
آره در واقع همون لیتل لایون. ولی خب اینجا گفته که حالا اینجا چون رسیدیم در رابطه با عدسه، جالبش اینجاست حالا یه معنی که در رابطه با کرپ داده بوده، دو تا دیدگاه هست. یه عده میگن کرپ همون قربان هست، قربان، چون واژه پارسی قربان گرپان هست. در واقع گرپان همون قربانه که تو عربی هم استفاده میشه، تو پهلوی ما میگیم گرپان. ولی یه دیدگاه دیگه هم هست در رابطه با نام کرپ ارسلان، چون یه چیز مشک اصلا عجیب بوده برای کسانی که میشنیدن، چون میگه که این چون واژه عدسه رو اینجا استفاده کرد، یاد این حرف افتادم، چون میگه که در واقع میگن اگه شیر عدسه کنه گربه از تو بینیش میاد بیرون، یعنی این کرپ ارسلان در واقع یک حالا گربه میگن منظور در واقع گربه است. این یه برداشت دیگه است که این دوست داشتم اینم گفته باشم، که این نوتا رو من نوشته بودم که بگم. حالا میتونیم ادامه بدیم.
But continuing here, we are seeing different ways he wants to say he's going to do something special, more than he had done previously.
That's right.
So he's no longer going to be riding the Khare Lang, the Toy Kubi. He's going to heat up the wax. He is going to, perfume is often used as an image for poetry that is very suggestive and sensual. So the atsei, de, za quelque nom, fait gauchai, and then we get bod, gu, rax, tell the wind to dance on the abir. This is another word for a source of perfume, amber.
Mm-hmm.
And that means that the wind should roll over it and then bring the aroma. So, ba, and we got two longs in front of us. We got to put in a cushion. Ba de gu, rax is the first foot. Ba de gu, rax. And then we need a short. And we got ba sitting with two consonants after it. It won't give us a short.
Yeah, but can I just is there a, it looks like there's no grammar whatsoever here. Body goo, what's body goo? I mean, just tell the wind.
Yeah.
But bigly.
It's very compressed.
It's all gone here.
It's like goo,
Bod goo.
bebod, ke,
Is there some little
rax con.
Yes, it's all gone. It's all
Well, it's compressed.
It's very compressed. It's
Right.
like I mean, you have to sort of like, you know, get what's. I mean, okay, I can see, but it's. I mean, it's all. How do you say this? It's all. It's void of all helpful words that will help you understand.
Oh, it's
Born
pretty clear because
Wind. It's like
in
wind says, say wind. You say wind. You say wind. You understand what I mean? I'm just like.
in this context, it's not hard to see that
Okay,
the dancing of the wind over the perfume.
I find it a little bit
این
daring.
تو این بخش آره دارینگ هم باید باشه. تو بخش اولش یه اشاره دیگه کرده بود قسمتی که گفته کورپ ارسلان در واقع این موضوع این اساینمنت رو بهش میده که کار کنه روش. بچه هم خواسته ازش که خیلی خیال انگیز و رمزگونه و رازگونه باید باشه. این چیزایی که خواسته بوده ازش توی این حالا هرچی بوده. بعد میگه بسیار خوشحالم شده خود نظامی که کورپ ارسلان این حالا ازش خواسته که این کار رو بکنه. یعنی یه جورایی تحت تاثیر قرار گرفته و اینکه الان اینجوری به همچین ترکیب دیگه‌ای عجیب دیگه‌ای رو اینجا ارائه میده به خاطر اینکه واقعا خواسته که دیگه اون خر لنگ رو کنار بذاره، واقعا یه کار نوین در اندازه به قول معروف.
Also, it's good to remember a lot of these images are cliches that people have been using since early Arab poetry.
Right.
The wind brings the perfume of the beloved at dawn, and the poet wakes to this aroma. And that's the special wind that brings the presence of the beloved. But so here we have gu, some kind of a command, which we know is to the poet by the messenger, and then the bard gu. It's as if there's a missing ke. Gu ke bard raks baradir kanam. And this is even more strange image. Sabzira, and as far as the green, meaning the grass. Meshk dad harir is a kind of fixed phrase. You take a beautiful dark silk, like a green silk, and you put black meshk, and this is considered a luxurious thing, richness. So, konad sabzera, make the grass into this luxurious thing of silk with mesh on it. This is how you're being told, this is the kind of poetry you should write. You should make it like perfume comes out of it in all these different ways.
I thought it was fire, it was on fire?
Silk.
Silk?
Yeah. Had all rats might be fire, there's a root that's similar. But this is Harir, like Hariri is a famous Arab poet who wrote these maqamat, little short, strange stories. The guy that was assassinated in Lebanon was Hariri, meaning a silk merchant. Family name. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Range.
رنج بردن توست، وقت رنج بردن توست، گنج شه در ورق شمردن.
So the first range board is a noun. You're taking trouble. The fact that you take trouble leads to treasure. We like range and ganj all the time.
قبلیش جان، قبلیش رنج بر وقت یه چیز دیگه، اون بعدیش گفتی الان رنج برده.
We skipped.
رنج بر وقت.
Yeah, we skipped the line. Ranj bad is the command.
Yes.
The meter joins vacht to it. Ran, jebad, vacht. But it's separate syntactically. Take the trouble. The time of taking trouble of you is now. That's the idea. Ranj bad, vacht ranj bordan a toast. It is now the time for you to take trouble. And then the second half is going to say, because when you take trouble, you get ranj, you get ganj.
نابرد رنج گنج میسر نمی شود.
But you said rightly there is no from the meter there is supposed to be how do you call it?
It's it's part of the first foot.
Yeah,
So
but
it's ranjebadvacht, but it's not badavacht in some sense like that.
no, okay.
You got the command, and then the second phrase
I
is
see.
it was vacht ranjbord danitos.
Yeah.
Ganjesha dar varak shomordan toast. So now the king's treasure is in your counting pages. The more pages, the more treasure.
Yes. حالا
Ganjesha dar is the first foot. Ganjesha dar. Short, varak, long, show more than a toast. Although this meter is in some ways simple, each foot is a very different construction. So I mean the first foot is long, short, long, long. Second foot is short, long, third foot can be whatever, but it's different again. So we get variety, but it's not such a hard meter for a poet to work with. Other meters, agar on tor keshi razi bedast all rad delet ma ra. It's hard to keep that up because you got three longs in a row. You got to arrange the words, so this is has more variety. It doesn't have this repetitive.
Right.
Hafez has lots of different meters, and some of them are not used a lot, so it's difficult for you. You don't know in advance exactly what kind of meter. You got to figure it out.
این قسمت نابرد رنج گنج میسر نمی شود آن گرفت جان برادر که کار کردم اینا مال شاعرهای بعدیشون باید باشه دیگه، یعنی سعدیه دیگه اینو میگی، درسته؟ میخوام بگم تأثیری که شاعرهای بعدی از نظامی و فردوسی میگیرن چجوری بوده.
Yeah, Sadi is the next generation after Nizami.
موقع که حافظ جوان بوده دیگه سعدی پیر بوده. آره همزمان بودن تا 700-800 سال.
So now we have Ranj or Daneto, the
رنج برد تو، رنج برد تو ره به گنج برد. فکر میکنم
the Ganj,
ببرد گنج، این ببرد گنج هر که رنج برد، همون نابرد رنج گنج میسر نمی شود.
you see how short this Mesra is, because it's got to have some more ezafes put in to get the necessary number of feet. They're not written, so it's ranj board. Let me see, ranj board de Torah beganj barad. Ranj board de Torah beganj barad.
برد، من نکنم رنج برد تو باید باشه، چون
Ranj board de to.
که میگه ره به گنج.
So, if we do that though, then do we have enough left for what we need? Because if we start from toe is the dividing line, we get ra, the ganj, barad. It's not enough. That's why we need a cushion, because ranj board is a compound word, taking trouble. But in these cases, you can put in a cushion that gives you an extra syllable. Ranj board de toe. Ranj board de Torah beganj barad. There we get everything we need.
Yep.
Ranj board de toe. Ranj board Ranje borde. Yeah. First foot is ranje borde. And toe is a short. Toe ra. Ra
Long.
gets a long because it has the ha and the ba.
Very short.
Be. Ganj.
Okay.
Barad. Okay, the meaning is clear, I think.
Yeah.
So then Bebad. Now I told you that there in 5 or 3% of cases the beginning can have two shorts rather than a long.
Yeah.
And that's this. Bebarad Ganj is the first foot. Had ke had Bebarad Ganj. And we can't have had ke because had is a long of position.
So
Bebarad Ganj, we need a cushion. Ganj had ke ranj barad. Bebarad Ganj had ke ranj barad.
but it also, but it goes, is it not possible be by that the
That is, he will carry treasure. Had ke, whoever ranj carries, who takes trouble, will get treasure. Bebarad. It's not like a present tense or he is now doing this. It's like whoever barad and bebarad, as a result, bebarad can jehad ke ranj barad.
Could it also not be bid bara ganje? So that the ganje it becomes short.
Well, when we get to Ganj, we're already at the end of our first foot. It's the
Yep.
fourth syllable.
Hang on. Forget about this for a moment. But
That. Oh, it's good to try to figure it.
yeah.
Oh, but it's a little difficult.
Bid bara ganje because we need to gan. No, okay. I have to look at these at this.
Bebarad, Ganj.
Okay.
And then we can't move immediately to had because it's a long.
Yeah, but you can also hare ke. Is that possible? Hare ke, so that ha is a short and hare ke.
Well, theoretically, but there's no reason you can do that here.
Hare ke. Yeah, because then you will also have ranje, but yeah, it's a bit.
Bebarad, Ganj,
It's
had, ke, ranj, barad. Barad is the final foot.
این سعدی همینو استفاده کرده، همینو به همین صورت. نابرد رنج، گنج، میسر
There's a
نمیشه.
cliche of rhyming. This is in every
دقیقا
poet.
میخوام بگم سعدی بعد از این بوده، از اینجا استفاده کرده.
Well, we're going to have to give him a
I'm
call.
sure you could find in Ferdowsi this rhyming of Ganj and Ranj.
آره بعد سعدی از
So common.
فردوسی هم زیاد گرفته، همین در رابطه با
So it's more like a standard saying. Or
آره منظورم اینه که
The rhyme suggests itself so easily.
yeah.
And you have to know, a lot of these traditional images are used by all the poets. Nightingales and gardens with roses. And the only difference is how well are they doing the meter, because that makes a big difference. And a second-rate poet just uses them mechanically. For instance, if you have cases where the first foot is one word. Pa de shaw he. Long, short, long, long. Pa de shaw he is an opening. It's only one word. That's cool, man. You get it in one word. The next stage is you do it in 2 words, but they're complete. Another tricky thing is you do it with you do it with 2 words, except the second word is half divided because the last syllable is the beginning of the next foot. There's all these kind of possibilities. And it's like you're listening to opera and you've done this for 30 years and you know every little thing that's going on in the music. Saying she's now warbling and she's going to do this and that. And that's the way people who grew up with Aru's poetry, they could say, oh, that was how he did this and he divided. Sometimes it's called a caesura, where you divide a word between 2 feet, and that has a different feeling. than if every foot neatly fits with words. And all this is what makes it, I mean, this is exactly like ancient Greek and Latin meter. They do all these things.
Yeah, it's universal.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say global.
It's kind of associated with early poetry. The principle is supposed to, it may be an Indo-European thing, although Arabs use this kind of lengths also. But it's like the music often early on was very close to poetry, and even dance. You know, in Greek, you had 500 people doing a hymn to Zeus once a year, and they all move, and the music plays, and they recite these things about what Zeus brings us, the thunder god. And so with the music, you have a full note for a long vowel, and then you theoretically can do 3 quick ones for a whole. So you can have a oh, and it's going, not just one note. There's all these ways that music supported the longs and shorts. The principle was that it takes you longer to pronounce a long vowel. I mean, all this is theoretical stuff because you can think of ways to contradict all this. But you got a long vowel takes time. A short vowel it's short by nature, but followed by 2 consonants. The 2 consonants slow it down, as